Hello guys, my name is Anand. I'm one of the co-founders of the Apprentice Project. Today I'm going to talk about education and how do we prepare our children for the 21st century. Before I start, I want to ask you a question. How do you think the world in 2050 will look like? And most importantly, what kind of jobs do you think we'll be doing in 2050? According to a recent study by Guardian, almost 40% of the jobs that we are doing currently will get automated. This includes drivers, receptionists, customer care, bankers, accountants. That is almost most of the jobs that we do. Then what jobs that we do will actually be relevant 30 years from now? According to LinkedIn, one of the most sought after jobs in 2050 is going to be artists, designers, teachers, psychologists, psychiatrists. And all of these skills, all of these jobs have social and emotional skills as the background. Now, why? Why is social and emotional skills so important, especially 30 years from now? Computers can automate and recreate almost all of the recurring jobs. What it cannot automate and what it cannot recreate are human emotions. And that are the basis of social and emotional skills. But this is 30 years from now, right? Why are we talking about it today? What is the relevance of these skills today? In 2019, there was a report written by Aspiring Minds called National Employability Report, which said that 80% of the graduates which come out of our universities are unemployable, and majorly due to lack of social and emotional skills. Google conducted a research of all their employees and found that 7 out of 8 skills that you need to be successful in Google are social and emotional skills. It's a tech company, and still they are claiming they need critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, listening, fundamental human skills. Now, if this is so evident, if everybody is saying about social and emotional skills, why are we not training our children and our graduates for this? Because the ultimate purpose of education is to empower and enlighten people. But why not? Why not in India? To understand this better, we have to look at the philosophies or the fundamental philosophy in which our education system has been formed. Our system was designed in pre-independence era, majorly for 5% of the population, and fundamentally for them to do clerical jobs. We have designed a perfected system where kids and graduates are told to be followers, where they're supposed to memorize formulas, note down names, understand and not to understand or even think why they are studying these skills. Why do they need to learn about Uganda in 8th grade when they don't even know how Pune's geography looks like? Sadly, it's a factory-made system. 15 years of your life, you go to a school and college where nobody asks you what you want to learn. Because sadly, our children are not at the center of our system. It's a top-down approach. We started something called the Apprentice Project 3 years back. It's basically from our experiences of working inside a government school as full-time teachers. We found out that the kids that we work with do not have the skills that they need to do jobs which are not even defined right now. And even basic, they don't even know why they are going to school. There's a huge gap, especially in India's public school system. What the Apprentice Project does We build social and emotional skills in children from government schools using choice-based learning as a medium. How does it look like? It's very simple. We use a person's passion or an innate interest to learn what they are passionate about and use their ownership or their belief to go ahead as a medium to build communication, creativity, confidence, collaboration, which are relevant 30 years from now. At first, a child in a government school is given a chance to explore what he or she is interested with the help of psychometric assessment and experiential learning. Then he specializes in one of the vertical, let's take visual arts, builds skills in that vertical for a period of 1 year and improves his social and emotional skills. Now, to a person who wants to learn what you love, the person who is passionate about learning what you love, who is the best teacher? A teacher is someone who wants to teach what you love. So we get people like you and me who are skilled at some vertical, who come to a government school every Saturday for 2 hours and teach what they are passionate about using the support and curriculum that TAP provides. The community comes together to ensure that everybody is going forward together, not alone. Currently, we work with 2,500 children across 19 schools with 250 plus facilitators who commit for a period of 1 year, with 88% of our students showing an increase in confidence, with 75% applying what they learn in their school, community and classrooms. Now, what does this application look like? I want to tell the story of Narendra. He learned coding as a part of the TAP vertical, built skills in coding, learned how to make games, asked his friends to play his games. Then he realized that there is something called global warming happening. And then he asked, okay, so what global warming is happening? Everybody knows about this. Why are we not doing anything about it? Then he realized people don't understand global warming. We all listen, but we all hear, but we don't listen. At this point, he said, Bhaiya, I'll create a game. I'll create a game because there's nothing better than a game for people to feel what it looks like. And created a game on global warming so that his friends can play and understand. To Sana, who was part of the drama and script writing club of TAP, recently wrote a book called The Journey of Winning Passion and published with the help of Notion Press, and her book is available in Amazon. Learning what you love has much benefits, has benefits for us to be relevant right now. Are we the only one to say that doing what you love, that is like an innovation? Is TAP doing an innovation? Not really. If you take the world's foremost education system, which is the Germanic way of learning, the Waldorf school, the Finnish school of education system, it is fundamentally based at the belief that skills needs to be developed through a child's interest or a passion. While in India, 300 million kids who go to school every year are not taught to learn skills, and as a matter of fact, our education system highly disregards a person's passion, because at the end of the day, everybody has to just choose science and commerce, right? Why do we even need to follow something that we love? Because it just doesn't make sense. I know that the world that is evolving is rapidly changing. Every day a disruptive technology is created. Every day people are confused. There is abundance of choice. There is competition. But according to me, the surest and the best way to be relevant even 30 years from now is by doing what you love. Across the 20th century, all the people that the world knows have always followed what they really want to do. Their legacy still says even 100 years from now. Now imagine a world and imagine our country where 300 million kids are following and doing what they are passionate about. And then, my friend, it will be a beautiful space. Thank you.